23rd Sunday in Ordinary Time. September 4th, 2022.
Reflection.
Whoever does not carry his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple.
Jesus calls us this Sunday to a radical following of Him. This entails complete surrender of will to God and detachment from many things. This following of Christ is given to us with the image of the cross, which reminds us of the burden that comes with the call, the humiliation that the cross brings, and the detachment from worldly things and affairs. The burden of the cross is very much represented to us in visual form when we watch the Passion of the Christ or any movie about Christ. We can see the heaviness of the wood and the struggles of Christ to bear it up to Calvary, but beyond the physical burden, there is more, the burden of sin and the lack of love of those who are the enemies of the cross. The call of Christ to radical discipleship is a call towards conversion. We have to carry our crosses with us after the Lord that we may ease a bit of the burden that He has. Christian discipleship is a life of continuous conversion and sanctification. Humiliation is part of the crucifixion that the Romans in earlier times have mastered. The one who is crucified is exposed to the people in all nakedness and mocking. In today's world, it may seem that being labeled a Christian is tantamount to being ostracized and be a laughing stock in some cultures and places. Recently, there was this internet personality who said that going to church is a waste of time and that he does not believe in God. This is the reality that we have to face. As disciples of the Lord, time will come that we will be persecuted and mocked as Christ was. This is what the cross reminds us. We will be facing the enemies of the cross of Christ one of these days. We will be a laughing stock to those who are enemies of the cross. And last, we are called to detach from anything that hinders us from following Christ. Christ, as He was hanging on the cross, gave up everything to the Father in His own Spirit. He gave up everything to Him who has the power to bring all things into subjection to Himself. Christ gave up everything for love of the Father and our salvation. It is to this end that we are to embrace the cross, that we may be completely in Father's hands. We give up everything. We detach from worldly things not because they are evil in themselves, rather because we want to possess only one, that is God Himself. The examples of the early Christians who died in martyrdom, the example of the monks and nuns in the desert, and the all other holy men and women who gave up everything for the love of God and neighbor are what radical discipleship is all about. We are called to be witnesses of this radical discipleship in our own day, according to our specific vocation in the world. May we find meaning in our daily carrying of the cross. When we grow weary and find life meaningless, let us gaze upon a crucifix and find inspiration in Christ crucified, a stumbling block to Jews and foolishness to Gentiles, but to those who are called, Jews and Greeks alike, Christ the power of God and the wisdom of God.